You're a man. You shouldn't even have an opinion over this or be talking about it.
You shouldn't have an opinion of men talking. You're a woman. You see how stupid that is? That's a stupid argument. It makes no sense. So back to your point. Do you think you would have cared if we were selling slaves on an auction block? Would you have walked by the same way in silence? I think you would. In fact, I know you would, because it's the exact same mentality that you have towards preborn children that the slave traders and slave owners had towards the slaves and that the Nazis had towards the Jews. It's the exact same mindset. So yes, I think you would be silent. I think you would ignore it. If we were sitting here selling slaves, you would walk by in silence. You should examine yourself and ask yourself why that is. What do you think, ma'am?
I think you should get a real job.
This is my real job.
Then it fucking sucks.
Oh, no, there's no need to use bad language. You can actually articulate an intelligent argument if you try.
Like your argument is that you're selling slaves.
Is that the best thing that you've got? Refute me. Prove me wrong. I think that you would not care if we were selling slaves. Prove me wrong.
You guys are idiots.
Step up to the mic. Prove me wrong. Tell me why I'm an idiot.
Comparing a woman's right to her own body to someone selling slaves is despicable.
Why is that despicable? So explain it to me like I'm an idiot.
You are an idiot.
Thank you. Explain it to me.
Have you ever been to school?
Because here's the thing. You've already left biology and science far behind.
I literally just took an anatomy exam.
Well, you need to get your money back for that anatomy class, because when a woman
What's
is
your
pregnant, there are
degree
two human beings present.
What's your degree in?
Do I need a degree in anatomy to argue that there's two human beings present when a woman is pregnant?
You need a degree to act like you're better than anyone else.
I'm not acting like I'm better than anyone. I know I'm not better than
more
anybody.
than everybody.
No, I'm here because I don't think we should murder children. You're here because you think we should. And I think we should argue about that and come to a conclusion.
Does that look like a child to you?
Yeah. Does it not look like a child to you? There's hands, arms, feet. Does that not look like a child to you?
It looks like a fetus.
So what does fetus mean? Use that anatomy degree.
It's
a Latin term.
Are you going to say it means little human baby?
It means small child or offspring. Okay.
Offspring. That does not mean human.
Okay. What species is it?
I mean, obviously that one would become a human.
It would become a human, or it is a human?
But any species can have a fetus.
Right. But what species is that fetus?
It will be human,
No,
or is becoming human.
Well, it is human. It's not going to accidentally become a dolphin, right?
Right.
It's a human fetus, a human zygote in the womb is human, biologically speaking. It's not some other species.
But that does not mean it's a person who is being murdered.
Okay, so you've hit the point right there. It's not a question about science and biology, right? It's a human being. It's a human species, right? So the question now is, when does it achieve what you would maybe call personhood? When does that human being deserve to have equal rights as a human being? We've already established that it is a human being.
When it's born.
When it's born, why?
When it's a separate human from its mother.
It is a separate human from its mother. It's got its own unique DNA. It's got its own cell structure. It's a unique body.
Tell him he's a man and he shouldn't have an opinion over this.
You go ahead. I have other stuff to do.
You're a man. You shouldn't even have an opinion over this or be talking about it.
You shouldn't have an opinion of men talking. You're a woman. You see how stupid that is? That's a stupid argument. It makes no sense. So back to your point. If we're talking about when a person earns the right to be protected, that's what we're really talking about. Because you've already said it is a human being in the womb, It's a human being.
Would you say slaves deserve to be protected? Because
Absolutely.
that's what you like to talk about.
Yeah, I think slavery is evil and wicked and should have been abolished, and thankfully it was.
So why are you talking about it like it's okay?
I'm not. I'm talking. I don't think you heard what I said. What I said was the same mindset that existed among slave owners is the same mindset that exists among people that kill preborn children. Because what the slave owners did, I'll explain it to you. What the slave owners did was they drew a circle around an entire demographic of human beings. People from Africa, black people. They drew a circle around them and they said, they're not really human, we can mistreat them. That's exactly what you just did to the preborn child. You said, it's not human, it's okay that we kill it. So do you understand now what I was saying? That's the same mindset. I never once,
It's
and you'll
not
never
the
hear
same
me say that
mindset.
slavery is good. It's not.
The
How is
people
that? How
from
is that not the
Africa
same mindset?
that were brought over here as slaves were grown people who were born, who had thoughts, who were able to live a life.
Yeah.
They were brought against their will. They
So,
had,
right. So by your logic,
they were
that
tied up and
even
put
more
onto
so, they
boats.
should have been protected, but they weren't. Right. But the problem is
It
that
is not the same thing.
you're assigning these arbitrary standards to what denotes human value. We already agree that it's biologically a human
believe
life.
that if a woman has something growing inside of her that she does not want, she has the right to get it out of her body.
Okay.
Why
so
would you say a woman
I-
does
I-
not deserve that control
I think that
over her own body?
a woman should have 100% bodily autonomy and the freedom to do with her body whatever she wants with her body, as long as she does not harm another human being doing so. That's what I believe. The problem is when a woman is pregnant, there's another human being present. And so just because she wants to say, I'm using my body to do something, doesn't give her the right to murder that other human being. You see, because
So what do you
rape
think
and
about the
murder
self-defense
and abortion
laws?
are all the same. They're all wrong for the same reason, right? Actually, it's one of the signs we have out here.
If
Rape.
the fetus is harming the woman,
How is a
does she not
fetus
have the
harming
right
the woman?
mentally, physically? It could be ectopic. There are many ways
So
that
should
a
we
fetus
be
could
able to
hurt a
kill
woman.
people just because they mentally cause us distress?
I believe that abusers. I believe that abusers should be dealt with.
I agree. I think abusers should be dealt with. I think
Mental,
rapists should be
physical,
executed.
If you are being harmed by something that is in your body and
Uh-huh.
you do not want it inside of your body, you have the right to get rid of that.
How did it get there?
It could be in many of ways. Rape,
Well,
sex,
Right?
contraception could fail.
Vast majority is consensual sex, right? It's about
Sure.
about 99%, right?
Right.
So if
Sure.
99% of the time what's happening is the most naturally to be expected end result of this activity, right? You don't get to suddenly change your mind after the fact. You voluntarily engaged in an activity that very naturally leads to pregnancy. You have created another human being. That's a consequence of that action. It does not give you the right, because you have buyer's remorse, to kill that human being.
I mean, if you're using contraception, any kind of contraception, and it fails, that does not mean you consented to pregnancy. You tried.
If you voluntarily
not to.
have sex, you are consenting to the very real possibility of pregnancy.
Not everyone has sex to get pregnant or wants to get
No,
pregnant.
I didn't say that. I said you are consenting to the possibility of getting pregnant.
Okay, so if you get in a car, are you consenting to the possibility of dying?
Yes.
Now you're getting it.
Right. So
Just
should
like
we
when you
not
cross the
help-
street, you're consenting to the possibility of
So
getting
should
run
we
over.
not help people who get ran over if they cross the street, or people who get into car accidents?
Yes, we should.
So why should a woman not be able to help herself if
Because
she were
you don't get to
accidentally
murder
get
another
pregnant?
human being to help yourself.
I wouldn't consider it murder,
Why?
because that is something growing in someone else's body that
But
they
what,
do not
but
want
what
there.
is it? You've already admitted it is a human being.
Becoming a human being.
No, it is, though. It's a member of the human species in the zygotic,
That is
embryonic
between
stage of
you
development.
And people who actually understand science. If you want to pick up a book and read, you can go in Tillman
I've read
there
several.
and speak to Dr. John Cummings, and he will tell you
I would love
the
to
truth.
speak to him, but he's too afraid to come out and talk to me.
Because he's doing his real job where he gets a real paycheck.
But again,
It is
you
not
still haven't
harassing
you
college
still have not
students on a
articulated a
college
single
campus.
argument to defend your claim that it's not murder. You've
I
just
have.
you've just said no. You've said something that's not true. You said it's not a human, but a minute ago you already admitted that it was a human.
I said it's becoming a human being.
But what is it before it becomes a human being? What species is it?
It's becoming a human being. It is
What
growing.
species is the zygote in the mother's womb?
I
What
guess
type of DNA?
Human, if we're going with
Yes,
the
I
simple
guess
answer.
human. If we're going to be biologically correct and
So are
scientifically
you not allowed
accurate,
to defend
it's human.
yourself if someone is hurting you?
Okay, so do you understand that like pregnancy is not an assault on a woman's body? Your
Do you
body is
understand
like
that you don't seem to understand anything that you're talking about? I would love to see you walk into Tillman Hall right there and speak to Dr. John Cummings.
Would you like
who
to speak to
has-
my wife who's had 7 children of her own who agrees with the science and actually
Does this mean that she's a scientist? No offense. I'm sure your family's amazing. But just because you have children does not mean that you understand
So what
everything
qualification
biologically.
do
Can
I
you not
need?
interrupt me, please? I'm speaking. Just because you've had children does not mean that you understand all the fundamentals biologically that go along with the development of a child, with pregnancy, and everything that is involved in that. If you would like to understand, I'd love to see your credentials, I'd love to see your degree, and if you are confused, which it seems like you are, I would like you to go to any professor on this campus who has years more experience in research and knowledge than
What
you
is your
do
degree
and
in?
find the answer. I'm getting a degree in nursing.
but you don't I actually have a degree.
In
Actually
what?
working on my second one.
In what? Biology?
Let me ask you, why does that matter? Because here's my question. If I were to present to you a PhD in biology, would you still accept that what I'm telling you is true? Of course you wouldn't. Because your problem's not actually with the science or the evidence. Your problem is in your heart, where you've decided that this human being does not deserve to be protected under the law.
I don't think you understand the science.
I do
And
understand
I
the
don't think
science.
you care about
I
women
understand
at
that
all.
human zygotes are human species in the womb. You didn't understand that when you walked up here, but you finally acquiesced and accepted that.
Okay, sure.
So-
If we lay the ground, it's a human.
Yes, so it's a human.
Why does a woman not have the right to remove
To
it
kill that
growing
human?
in her body? To
Because
kill that
it's
human.
murder.
So do people who are being attacked they're not allowed to defend themselves? If they happen to kill
Yeah,
another human.
you're not being attacked by the fetus in your womb.
If someone is brain dead,
You're
in
not
the
being
hospital,
attacked by the fetus in your womb.
Excuse me. If someone
I know,
is
but you're
brain
just
dead,
leaving it behind. You're not actually dealing with the argument.
If someone is brain dead in the hospital, are you not allowed to pull the plug on them because they are still human, even though there's no function
So that's a great
there?
question, and I'm happy to actually answer that for you. When you have a person who is brain dead, say from a car accident, they've had some traumatic brain injury, they're a vegetable. When you pull the plug on that life support machine, what happens to that human being? Do you actively rip them apart and kill them? Or do you let the natural processes take place that leads to the end of that human being's life? Which
They
one?
die.
Yes, naturally.
That's the only answer.
They die naturally, right?
It's not-
You unplug the unnatural machine, the artificial machine,
Yes.
and they die naturally, right? If you leave them to their natural processes at that point in their life, they die. That is not the case with the embryo, with the fetus in the womb. If you leave them in their natural processes, they grow, they develop, they're born, they grow into adult human beings.
Okay.
So
well,
it's a fallacious argument.
You seem to be stuck in your ways. I wish you would go.
I'm trying
excuse
to
me,
actually
I
have
wish-
the
excuse
conversation.
me,
Don't run
I-
away from it because you lost the argument.
No, actually, I have things to do that involve getting the degree that has to do with things like this.
I hope so.
wish you would go speak to one of these other doctors that are around.
Please send them my way. I would love to talk to any of the
You're the one
doctors
that
on
came
this
onto
campus.
our
Please,
campus.
by all means, come talk to me.
You're the one that came onto our campus.
Yep.
Harassing students.
Praise God for the
If
First
you
Amendment, right?
would like to speak to a professor, go find one because that apparently
Why
you
are
seem
none
to
of
go
them
out
out
of your
here?
way.
Why do none of them ever
Because
come
they're
out here?
doing their real jobs.
Okay.